Right, there we are. All right, well, hello everyone, and welcome to Astral's Merchandising That Moves webinar. My name is Maggie. I am the manager of digital marketing here at Astral, and I am joined by Allison Harrington. She is the director of merchandising here at Astral.
Hi.
And today we're going to be talking about how to turn your retail into a real sales driver to try and get, one second, sorry. Just gonna fix the screen real quick. There we go. All right, and we're just going to talk about how retail can work harder for you. And instead of overcomplicating things or overbuying, we have a couple simple tricks that'll kind of help you get started today on moving your retail a little bit more effectively. First, oh, okay, did this turn on? I'm gonna have to, oh, there we go. All right, about Astral. Here at Astral, our focus is helping you turn retail into reliable revenue stream. We work closely with studios to curate assortments, support merchandising decisions, and make retail feel manageable and not too overwhelming. A couple key points about Astral that I'd like to point out is that from our website, you can shop from all of these top performing brands. We have about 20 plus brands on our website, all in one place. So it's really nice because you can see new arrivals every Tuesday. You can see sort of what merches well together. We often work together to make collections for our studios to shop. As well as that is on our website, you can shop from all these brands, but it's just one shipping fee because everything ships all together, which is also really nice because a lot of times the turnaround
Super quick.
is very fast. So you can order something on a Monday, and by Wednesday, you're pulling it out of the box with it already ready to upload, all the upload files ready, and it's good to go. And then also, we do have stylists here at Astral, and they are here to help you with your retail. They can help with curated assortments and sets. You can do live shops and they can kind of help you put together the perfect retail wall as well as curating things as well. So moving on to merchandising and why does it matter? I'm going to ask our director of merchandising to take over because she has got some great info for you.
Yeah. Well, we're excited to be with you today. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to join us. First of all, let me just say Happy New Year. And hopefully your holiday and your start to 2026 was great. And as we start this year, we just want to make sure that your studio starts strong. So generally speaking, retail is slow in a traditional retail space in January. That is not the case for studios. You have existing clients with resolutions, you have new clients who are eager to invest in your studio. So don't miss out on that opportunity to engage them with your retail space. Some good merchandising tips that you'll see here that we feel are important to do that are guiding the shopper's eye with your displays, with your setup, drawing in the attention of the members as they make their way through your space. Make those products feel intentional and important to them. And just a reminder for you that sometimes small changes can equal meaningful sales lifts. So as you're thinking through, some of the ideas we're going to go through in this presentation, just know that your retail wall is the first and the last thing that your clients see. So it makes a very strong first impression if it is well organized, if it is well stocked, and it feels engaging to the members. It's also the last thing they're going to see when they leave. So you want to leave them with a good memory of that. So as we think about what good merchandising looks like, let's walk through these slides and we'll go through some tips. So first up, refreshing the setup regularly. Oftentimes this can feel like a daunting task, whether it's you or somebody that works your desk or a manager that's doing this. Sometimes this task feels like, oh gosh, I don't want to do that today. But it's so important to make your spaces look different. One thing that's unique about retail and boutique fitness studio spaces, your clients are visiting the studio maybe 3 times a week, maybe even more. You're not typically going into a traditional retail store that many times a week. So it is more important than anything that that's always changing so that they see new products, that they maybe see something they didn't see before. So do not ever think that, oh, it's no big deal. We don't need to change that. It really is even more important because they're visiting so much more frequently. So some of the ways you can do that are by changing color stories and product groupings. When we think through that, when we think about like our stylists working with you all, they are helping you create curated collections. And so when that product comes in the box, we want to see that go up on a wall in a meaningful way. You don't want to just throw it up there and maybe this is here and that's there. You want to make sure that it's intentional and that it makes sense for your client to shop. Some ways that you can do that are kind of some ideas here on the wall. So first, when we're thinking through seasons, we like to think through seasonal color pops. So it's very important to have your evergreen basic styles that always need to be in the studio, whether that's your navy, your black. This year, chocolate brown is huge, so don't miss out on that play. But it's important to have those, but we want to have those seasonal color pops that are relevant to what's happening. And so what's coming up really soon? Valentine's Day. And that is one of the most popular gift giving holidays. And so it's really easy to engage your members even in that. So as you're thinking through your seasons, find those key moments on the calendar that are meaningful to your clients and play into that in your retail space. So behind me, you'll see pinks and we have wine colors and we have different shades of pink, but also think about mixing those with some of your wine, your chocolate for those darker colors, because a lot of times we feel, that darkness of a winter season, but it's good to have those high-low moments. So, like when we see here, like the wine and then you have the pink, a high-low moment kind of draws some interest to your clients. It also helps them to see how they can buy different things that they can wear now and maybe wear later. So again, just having those ideas for them is super important to engage them and help them to see how they can mix and match things. So thinking about colors is always super key here, but also how you display all of your products. You want to make sure that you are mixing in different fabrications, different lifestyle pieces, active pieces. They're in your studio to work out, so they most certainly want new active styles. But then they're going out for coffee. They might be going out for, a girls' day, whatever it might be. They're doing other things outside of your studio, but they still want to look good. So it's okay to provide those in your studio, even if they're not wearing it there. Some other things that we say is important is when you have some of those lifestyle pieces that feel kind of like your hero pieces, and it could be a hero for a couple of different reasons. It could be a hero because it's a bestseller. It could be a hero because maybe it is seasonal, and it could be something for colder weather and you want that to move before it gets warm. Whatever that is, bring those pieces to eye level so that it is working with your the line of sight for your clients, and it draws attention to that. So again, just making sure you're whatever that hero piece is for you that you're wanting to move, give it the attention that it deserves. Also, in saying that, when we're thinking about all of the apparel that you're choosing for your walls, make sure you're changing that wall setup. So we want to see different variations over time. You want to make sure that your walls and your racks aren't always staying exactly the same. So if you have different towers that perhaps are set up in your retail space, you might want to rotate where those are located. If you have a slat wall, you might want to change your U-rails and your face outs just to give depth and to just give a little bit of change to your space. If you have shelving, again, just making sure you're changing out those products. Because if you are tired of seeing it look that way, your members most likely are too. And if they are, that might mean they're not paying attention. And that's not what we want. We want you just to always be needing new fresh product and maximizing the sales that you can in your studio. So these are some great tips to do that. Also, in having these color pops and having these seasonal styles, it's also going to, if you merchandise those in with your basics, it's going to bring new attention to those as well. So if it's something that perhaps hasn't moved in a while or something that you always keep in stock, it's just going to bring extra attention to those and help your clients see how they can mix and match those in their just in their life. So moving on, another important step in your retail space is establishing retail zones. So re-merchandising to best utilize your retail space. We look at this in a few different ways. One is impulse buys. So think about your desk. Whether they're checking in, perhaps they're buying a new package on the way out. If they are engaging at your desk, have some fun accessories available and at the ready at their eye level that they see, so that they are like, oh, I think I need those. It's amazing what you think you need when it's right there in front of you. So make sure that you have those options available. Also, within your zones, we've talked a lot about curated retail and having these high-low moments, different fabrications, different textures. But we also want to make sure that your clients know where that is. So within your space, have a dedicated space for, perhaps your new arrivals mixed in with your basic pieces, all of those. If you work with a stylist and you've curated this beautiful set, make sure you are presenting that in the way that you imagined it in your head when you were working with your stylist. So make sure that is displayed beautifully throughout your studio. So have an area that is truly concentrated for those curated sets and basics, so it has a very appealing visual when they come in. And then we always get hung up on the almost gone. However you want to look at it. Sometimes it's almost gone because it was a bestseller. Maybe you have one size left. Sometimes it's maybe not almost gone, but it's hung around for a little longer than you'd like, and you're ready for that to move on. Have a dedicated space for those types of styles. Number one, it will keep your curated retail looking organized and clean and merchandised well. And it will also give a little space for some of those units that maybe don't want to mark them down, but you do want to make sure that they're moving. And so to have a little space for that, but to kind of show that in a way that's like, hey, one more, almost gone. It's really about the wording that you use for that. You want them to kind of feel like they're going to miss out on it if they don't purchase it. So not so much think of it as a sale, but just think of it as things you want to draw attention to, so that you can move those pieces before you have to go through the markdown, sale rack, that type of thing. We want to just make sure that they have a moment to kind of see those, know that they're there, and get those before they're no longer available. So again, the benefits of establishing these retail zones: it guides members throughout your retail space, it creates an intentional retail experience, and the hope is that it can also convert some low inventory styles to sell at full price, so that you move those out before they hit the sale rack. So as we're moving on to the next slide, think about merching with intention. Help your clients understand why they should buy. We like to recommend for you grouping these items in collections for easy shopping. We talked about how you're curating sets with your stylist. Perhaps you like to shop online on our site independently. But again, making sure those curated color stories that you had in mind when you were buying, that you're relaying those to your members. So again, you'll see here we have looks that are layered. You want to make sure that if you've got a really great sweatshirt, you've got bottoms with it that they might purchase. If you have something that could work with multiple items, it's great sometimes to have a couple of different pant options. So if they wanted to wear it in more of an active setting, they could do so. Or if it can translate into something more lifestyle, they could do that as well. To kind of inspire those ideas with your clients, it just gets their mind working a little bit and helps them to see different ways they can wear different products. And when we think we have different ways to wear them, it's a lot easier to convince us to buy. So again, grouping these products and making these full looks is super important for just giving your members inspiration for how they would use these in your studio and outside of. Another tip is to use signage and call outs for new arrivals, staff picks. Perhaps it is an almost gone or don't miss out, or whatever that might be, making sure you have signage to draw your members' attention to those products. People love new arrivals. That's super important. We also say here that some of those basics are just as equally important. So, whether that's black leggings or a black bra, whatever that might be, making sure that there's just some attention to those. So, another thing that works well with a lot of our studio owners is staff pics. A lot of times, if your instructors are wearing things, that is like an instant selling point for members. Also, just signage with staff, like this is so and so's favorite, this is Maggie's favorite, and whatever that might be. It's just fun to engage with your members that way. It gives them a little insight into your instructors' personalities, and just as a fun way to include your clients in that. Okay, this last one isn't fun, but it's so important to keep your retail looking organized and well kept. Clean. I know nobody likes to do it, but it truly is important to, again, making sure that your retail is looking fresh, making sure that you're paying attention to it, because if you're not, then your members are most likely not paying attention as well. So get out those Swippers, get your dust bunnies, straighten your hangers. Spacing out your hangers so things aren't jammed together. Sometimes if you have more inventory, that can kind of look messy. So you want to make sure that those are spaced out. You want to make sure that, maybe you sold a sweatshirt off of a mannequin. Make sure that gets redressed. Make sure that gets changed. Make sure like that is always changing. One thing that we like to do here, obviously your clients want to see your tag, but one thing we do here is we put them all back. So you can still read your tag. You see the product, you see all the information you need, but you don't see that tag hanging on the side. Because once you have all of those hanging, you kind of see all of those. So we tuck those back, put the information out. So again, it's still readable, but it's just a nice little way to make sure that your retail stays clean, doesn't have a lot of unnecessary tags sticking out, which can distract people from just the whole look of the wall. So again, these tips are all just easy things that you can do, that you can have your staff work on outside of class times, that will just make it more intentional and help your members, help it to just be easier to shop, and hopefully make it more likely that they're to purchase from you. Then, for our key takeaways for today, merchandising does truly impact your sales in a really big way. So again, I can't stress enough just the importance of upkeep with that. Making sure that you are changing your inventory on a regular basis, that you are mixing that inventory with your basics, and that you're just always refreshing that. The small regular refreshes can keep your wall engaging. It can keep your members looking, but you just have to put that due diligence in to do those extra steps and to get that work in. Establishing the retail zones helps guide your members through your studio. It gives them intentional spaces, like they know if they want new arrivals, they know they're here. If they know they might need a small gift, they might find something at your desk. So just establishing those zones so they do know where to look when they're looking for certain styles. Also, again, intentional layouts motivate those members to buy. So again, changing your walls, changing your hardware, any of those changes that can just kind of reimagine your retail space will also help your students, your members, to just see emerging retail, things that maybe they might have missed, and it really just helps them engage in your overall studio. They're there to take the class, but there's no reason why you can't capitalize on retail. and making sure that they are engaging in both ways. Also, remember, it's progress over perfection. So just start with one change. If this feels like a lot to you today, you don't have to do them all in one day. These are just takeaways that you can slowly start to implement with your staff. These are things that you can start to add to over time. But these are just all recommendations that will help engage your clients, help you move retail more quickly, help turn product, and hopefully make you more profit.
Is it coming back to me?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
I guess I should hand it back to you. And I'm handing this back over to Maggie because she has a fun giveaway.
Yeah. Thank you, Allison.
You're welcome.
All right, it is. Oh, and of course I clicked something wrong. I have a little clicker on a wheel on our screen. So first off, everyone, you can use the code WebinarShip for free shipping on your next order. So thank you for coming today. And let's pause the wheel. Go. All right, and the $500 giveaway goes to Marissa Guerrero. Woohoo! So congrats. Marissa, we will reach out to you with that $500 credit. And to everyone else that came in today, thank you so much. We are here to help you build your retail that works as hard as you do. If you have any questions, contact one of our stylists, Heidi or Susanna. And have a great day, everyone. Thanks
Thanks for joining us. Oh, did we have a question?
Oh, is there questions? Okay, sounds good. Thank you, guys.